Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. I just want to take a second before I jump into today's news to thank you all. It's been a rough couple of days, a couple of weeks actually. With my back injury, I finally got my MRI results, and they were, I ain't gonna lie, it set me back a couple of days just to sit back and ponder and focus on what could possibly be my new future there with my back. But I'm here, I'm back, and I just wanted to thank you all for the words of encouragement during this time that's been a little stressful, a little difficult. Also wanted to let you know that while I took a day and a half off, which seems like forever the way I've been pumping out videos, I've noticed that my views on YouTube have almost come to a screeching stop. So I think I might be on the big shadow ban again since I've been doing some of the stuff about Joe Biden. But if you could help me, I'd appreciate it. Thumbs up. Let's get us back into that algorithm. But seriously, thank you all. You don't realize how much your words of encouragement actually help. Thanks. And fingers crossed going forward. Let's see what's going on. But let's get into today's news. Let's talk about constitutional carry. Constitutional carry is something that whenever, no matter what state, whenever it gets proposed, the liberals come out saying, oh no, we can't have this because people will die in the streets and it'll turn into a shooting gallery, and this is horrible. Even though, you know, really that's the way it's supposed to be if you follow the way the Constitution was written. The intention was that no man should be denied the right to carry, to keep and bear arms, etc. We all know, we're on the same team, we know this, okay? But let's move to the 3 states right now that are trying to get constitutional carry passed. The first one we'll talk about is Alabama. Now, before I jump into every one of these bills for the 3 states I'm going to talk about will be linked down below, and I'll also have links for each state of how you get a hold of your representatives like I usually do, so that you can call your legislators to tell them that you back this, that you support this, and you want them as your representative to vote and get this pushed through. So SB 24 is the bill in Alabama, and a couple days ago on Thursday it actually came through, it passed through the Senate Judiciary Committee with a vote, a total of 6-4, 6 in favor of. So it moves out of committee and it now moves to the full floor Senate vote that will be coming up sooner than later. That is Alabama. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to pass, okay? This bill has been sponsored for several years by the same person who's sponsored it now, and that's Senator Gerald Allen. And I don't know the makeup of, I'm gonna be first to tell you, if you think I can keep up with how every single state's legislature is made up with Republicans to Democrat to Independents, it ain't happening. I can barely keep up with my own friggin' state, but I don't know the makeups for each one of these states. But I do know that when it passes a judiciary committee, or when a bill that is pro-gun gets sent to a committee and it comes out of committee, it's usually a good sign. And so then it comes down to the voters. You know, you have to put pressure on your representatives. Now it moves to the full floor vote. This is when you, as a resident of Alabama, absolutely need to call your representatives and voice your support for this bill. I will tell you that if you're not familiar with it yet, and if you live in Alabama, a lot of the law enforcement officials are coming out against this bill, as is Moms Demand Action. They will in any state because it's Bloomberg. But the law enforcement, and this is the part that's sickening to me, because for several reasons, okay? The police should not be clinging to this because they are going to lose fees and money. That is exactly why they're clinging to stop these bills. They're saying because the money goes towards operations and we need all this money. Well, you shouldn't be lodging fees on a constitutionally guaranteed right. That's actually a Supreme Court decision, and every single state, mine included, that lodges a fee on any constitutional right should be hammered for that. Absolutely should be hammered. But I digress. So also, Moms Demand Action is coming out, and specifically what they said here in Alabama was that they're in favor of more protections for citizens, and they also, of course, pushed, you know, the universal background checks, etc., and said that by constitutional carry passing, it actually removes a safeguard for citizens. We'll get back to that. Now, the next state that is looking to get some constitutional carry installed is Tennessee. Now, you remember I did a video or a couple videos on that already, and the governor himself got up and said that he was pushing for a permitless carry bill and that it wasn't right to infringe on the right of law-abiding citizens. You know how the story goes. So the bill in Tennessee, I had to make a list because there's 3 bills, it's too much for me to keep track of. SB 2671. Again, all the links will be down below. And SB 2671 also passed their Senate Judiciary Committee in Tennessee by a vote tally of 7 for and 2 against. That is looking good. Now it goes to the full Senate hearings and vote as well. So if you live in Tennessee, now is the time to get on your representatives and let them know that this ought to pass, that you want it to pass. That is a good thing. Again, you're going to have some pushback from the typicals, from cops, sheriffs who want that money, because it's all about the dollar bill. That's all it comes down to. They want the money. And the Bloomberg people are out there as well. Moms Demand Action, Every Town for Gun Safety. They don't want this because it's removing our safety measures and safety protocols that are in place. Now, the third state that is currently trying to push constitutional carry is Utah. Now, Utah's bill is House Bill 472. Now, HB 472 was recently filed, and even the representative who filed this bill, his name is Walt Brooks, he's even said that it's very possible that it's not going to happen this year because he's filed it so late in this year's session. However, he did that for a reason. He said he did it just specifically to get the language in order for next year's session. Now, a lot of people right now are saying, well, why would you waste your time filing it now if you're not worried about this year and you want it for next year's session? Well, he's actually doing something pretty damn strategic. See, back in 2013, the Utah legislature, both the House side and the Senate side, they passed a permitless carry bill and it made it all the way to the governor's desk. And the governor, who's still governor today, and his name is Gary Hebert, he's a Republican. However, he killed that bill. So why is this important? If he's still a governor, isn't he still going to stomp it? No, he has announced that he will not seek re-election this year in 2020. So, no matter what happens, Utah will get a new governor. And if it makes its way all the way through again, and they get somebody who's pro-2A or somebody who listens to the damn voters like it's supposed to be, then it's very likely that Utah could also join the hit parade of constitutional carry. So it is a very strategic move, and if you are in Utah, you need to do what you need to do, get on your elected officials. Links will be down below to all of those bills, as well as how to find your representatives. Now, like I said, I get back to regarding Moms Demand Action. They always come by and say, this is terrible, you're making us less safe, you're putting people in harm's way, think of what will happen. I want to name off the group of states that are already constitutional carry, okay? And I want to do this for a reason. Alaska, Arizona, Idaho, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi, Kentucky, West Virginia, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Now, think of those, and can anybody tell me which one of those states has turned back into the wild, wild west? I'm waiting. You can't. The truth is, removing permitless carry doesn't do anything. Crime has not gone up. In fact, in many of those states, crime has dropped. Now, why is it even worth mentioning that? Because the left always throws that out, and they always make it seem like something bad will happen. Not one of those bills or laws do anything for the criminal element. The criminal is not going to do anything based off of any law that's passed because they're criminals and they don't care. So putting more scrutiny, more restrictions, more hurdles on the law-abiding citizen who's already following the law does not accomplish anything. Maybe, just maybe, if any of you call your representatives, you do the same thing I did, and you run off all those states and tell them none of them have turned into the wild, wild west, and neither will our state. So, thank you again for your kind words during this potentially mind-altering injury that I'm going through here. I get a lot of questions on it, and while it's very possible I'm facing back surgery and it could affect my career. So let's just leave it at that. And that's the part that I'm not really sitting easy with. I'm going to need to fall back on some of these good comments every now and then, because sometimes it's tough not knowing what the future holds until you run its course here on the injury and the treatment. So thank you all for your time. Thank you all for your kind words. I really appreciate you so much more than you realize. If you could, let's help get those analytics back up. I don't know why. I don't know why the views have just literally plummeted. I think I know why. It's because of the couple videos I did about Mr. McSniff. But if I could use your help, please hit that thumbs up. Please share the video to your friends, your family, and everybody here or there. It would really help the channel get back to viewing, I guess. I hope. I really hope. All right, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If this is your first time here, this is where you're going to find Second Amendment news, no matter where it happens in the nation, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. And you'll also find things such as firearms reviews and sometimes some cool gear as well. And until the next video, please be safe, stay vigilant, and carry your weapons. Take care, everybody.